What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we're jumping in with a quick breakdown of some things to be aware of as we head into the weekly reset this week. So firstly, a couple of updates from Bungie, including fixes to class item drop rates, plus they talk about a whole bunch of elements related to Solstice this year, so some of those things are going to be worth keeping in mind. We'll also break down all of the Eververse items which are going to be available for Silver and Bright Dust this Solstice event. Last week we couldn't see all of them, but now we can. So if you want to know where you can save Silver and instead spend Bright Dust, then hopefully that will be useful. Additionally, we'll talk about some of the content this week, preparation for Act 3, and there are a few other items to mention in the video today. So as always guys, I hope you find this one useful. If you do, a rating below really helps us out. But without further delay, let's get into it. First up today, as we often see with weekly resets, we are getting a new patch. So this is update 8051. And we don't know any of the details about what will be fixed, potentially some minor fixes for Solstice and other bugs in the game. We'll talk more about the Solstice component in just a moment, but keep in mind for the update today, background maintenance is due to start at 6 AM PDT, with downtime starting at 6:45 AM, and the expected end time is 10 AM Pacific, which of course is the weekly reset time. Most of the patches recently have actually been fairly smooth without queues and delays and stuff like that, so hopefully we'll be back in the game fairly quick. Just keep in mind that there will be just over 3 hours of downtime immediately before the reset. Next up though, to speak about episode content, I did briefly mention this last week, but of course Act 3 of Echoes will kick off in a couple of weeks' time. We'll possibly get a live reveal for that or something in the next week or so, but obviously, as a lot of players did in Act 1, it is worth holding on to things like Echoes engrams, as well as the seasonal challenges, and completing things like research quests ahead of Act 3 drop-in. Obviously, this isn't an expansion launch, so there is no absolute urgency to do it, but if you're sort of done with Act 2 and you want the game to value your time, I guess, I'd say it's worth holding on to the engrams for the weapons that are coming out, and the challenges for the season pass, as we'll be able to use those to our advantage once that content drops. I'll keep you posted when Bungie give us more details about Act 3, and otherwise, of course keep in mind, we are going to be seeing 350 Bright Dust each week via the Eververse store, which is available to grab for free, and Bungie have made that change in relation to Pathfinder, where they say it isn't being as rewarding as they hoped in terms of Bright Dust, so don't miss out on that. Otherwise though, last week in the patch, of course we had a change to how the exotic class items drop randomly, and there was an issue where the tier 4 overthrow chests weren't contributing to the increased drop chance, or actually dropping the class items. But Bungie have said they've now resolved that issue, and so tier 4 overthrow chests will now have the chance to actually drop the class items. Plus every time you open one, it will actually boost the drop chance the next time around, so it's good that that has been fixed. And otherwise DMG confirmed that the team is still looking into current class item drop rates and feedback after the update, so we'll probably see more changes down the road, but we'll have to wait a little while longer before we get them. Next up though, to talk about Solstice briefly, some issues that Bungie are investigating, and they recognise that players are only able to hold one of the Solstice mementos at a time. That shouldn't actually be the case now, as they recently made a change to increase the cap, but for whatever reason Solstice wasn't included in that, so hopefully we'll get a fix for that issue before the end of the event. They also recognise that there are a few repeat issues this Solstice event that have made their way back from the previous one, including some of the armor pieces not glowing, and the D2 team said that they are making sure to note these issues, and I can't say if they'll get them fixed up before the end of this event, but they're looking at better ways to track the issues and avoid repeat bugs in future. They've additionally said they are recognising feedback around the drop rates of various weapons and the weighting that causes the bow to drop a lot more than the other weapons. So again, another possible change, but nothing confirmed just yet. The last thing I wanted to mention here though are some Solstice Eververse items that are going to be available for Bright Dust during this event. At the start of the event, we couldn't see all of the things that were going to come up, but now we can, and it's useful as some of them do have Silver and Bright Dust costs, and that means that they're going to be sold for both of those currencies. Generally, they'll come up for Silver first, so any of the items we mention right here, if you see them up for sale for Silver, just keep in mind they are going to sell for Bright Dust in one of the subsequent weeks, and that includes the reset that we'll get later on today. So the Sudden Squall weapon ornament for Sturm will come up for Bright Dust, as well as the Raging Lepus ornament for Jade Rabbit. Outside of that though, we can see the Moat Juggle exotic emote will sell for 1,000 Silver or 3,250 Bright Dust, so we don't have to purchase it for Silver, keep it in mind. Additionally, there's the Guardian Pride legendary emote. That one has 500 Silver or 700 Bright Dust. The Getting Shade legendary emote, which has the same cost associated, and also the Lovely Look legendary emote. So if you fancy any of those, they will come up for Bright Dust. There is also the Sunny Day shell, an exotic ghost here. Unlucky if you've already spent silver on it. It did come up for 600 silver, but it will also sell for 2,850 bright dust during the event. Then there is the Finned Shell exotic ghost, which will be available for the same costs, and the Crab Cycle exotic sparrow, which will be in the store for both 800 silver or 2,500 bright dust. Another new one for this year is the Midway Goa exotic sparrow. That will come up for the same costs, as will the Surface Friend exotic sparrow. Then for some of the ships, we've got things like Summertide Kite. That'll sell for 800 silver, but again, will sell for 2,000 bright dust as well. Plus there is the Ramen Shop Rambler exotic ship. That can be bought in a bundle or as a standalone silver purchase, but also will sell for 2,000 bright dust. Then there is the well-traveled exotic ship, as well as the hovering Elenine, which is a new one this season, or this event should I say. And again, all of the ships will sell for 800 silver or 2,000 bright dust, but then there are some ghost projections as well, so that will include the bivalve projection, which will sell for 200 silver or 1,500 bright dust. Then there is the Vacation projection, as well as the Seashell projection, which will have the same costs associated. So just bear in mind, generally Bungie will sell them for silver first, then they'll sell for bright dust. But if you want any of them and you're happy to be patient, we will get more options for bright dust in the next couple of resets. For today though guys, that's what we've got to break down. So as always, I appreciate you tuning in. I hope the video has been useful. Of course, we're in one of the quieter weeks for actual episode content now, but there are still some useful shouts, so I hope they've helped out. I'll keep you posted when we get more details about Act 3, which will probably start dropping in the next couple of twits, so keep it locked and loaded right here, get subscribed and hit the notification bell so I can keep you posted. Otherwise though, cheers for tuning in, and I hope you guys have an awesome day.
I hear it still.
The witness is dead. From that victory, something new emerged. At first, we didn't know what to call them, but Echo seemed apt. You won't be alone. We're sending our best.
I was once the Vax's greatest opponent. I should remind them.
I never thought I'd see him shaken up like that. He's always so strong.
Do not forget what you're dealing with. Uploaded, judged, and eliminated.
I will be ready.